Okay, so we left off here with the transparency. We put the box over top of the girl, the photo of the girl. What I want to do now is add a little bit of text. So we can kind of copy what this person has, and we'll learn a little bit about how to adjust the text. Um, so I'm just typing out that text. Then I'm going to go in and I'll pick a sans serif font. I'm just going to go with Arial because that's kind of plain. Make it bigger, and then what I want to do is increase the tracking. And we're going to put a lot of space here. Okay. And then we could change the text to white. So I'm kind of just mimicking this just for this example. And then again, we would probably want to change the leading. Oops, we want to make it more. Oops, that's the wrong space. This is a baseline shift that'll just shift all of the text up. What I'm really trying to get is this. Here we go. And then when we want to line up these letters, we could do that individually with the kerning feature here. And that looks pretty lined up. Maybe I would want to move this over a tad. Actually, I don't know, I kind of like that. This could be a tad over. And then these seem pretty lined up now. So just by adjusting using these type features, you can create this same sort of look. Maybe you want to use a different word, but well, you probably should. You no reason to copyright. I'm just using this as an example. Okay, so another thing that you could do is extend lettering, which is really kind of cool. So say I am I will just use a G, just because, for the sake of time. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to go up to, I'm going to move my screencast up there. So I'm going to go to Type, Create Outlines. Oh, Type, Create Outlines. And then I'm just going to hold shift and drag out and make this big. So say maybe I want it to extend here. Okay. So now what you can do is, again, using your direct selection tool here, you can also click A. We're going to manipulate the points here. And this is one way you could do it. There are other ways too. So say I wanted to do that and I want to drag this point out. I could also add a point by hitting the plus key on your keyboard and adding a point. And then I'm going to click A to get back to that. Because again, you may want this to extend to the bleed line, and you want everything to show up in the bleed area out here. So maybe then you would want to create that arc, make sure that arc is still smooth. Maybe you could just move it over just to make it a little easier. And then I will continue to manipulate this. If, say for instance, you wanted it to kind of square off there, you could just simply delete these points. So by hitting the minus key, I could just delete, actually, I'll keep that one, I'll delete this one, delete this one, delete that one, and then what I'm going to do is hold shift and drag this out. That'll keep it straight. And then I'll take this point and I'll just drag it out. And then there you have your picture. So then I could put in the background, say I wanted to put the picture of this guy. He might look good in there. And then I'll send to the back. Change the display performance. And we could put him right in there. And I'll just maybe make him a little smaller. And he kind of fits in there. Then you could go ahead and I'm going to click T and put my text box. Maybe I want to add some text in there. I'll change my font color to white. And then And then I could just go ahead and type in there, and that kind of looks nice, especially maybe if you have some columns here of text. Let me copy some text from somewhere else. And I'll make it white. So maybe you want to do a little something like this. And then you could kind of use that space. Or something like that. Okay? Okay. The next thing we could do is cut out some letters here, which is kind of a cool feature. So let's see, I had a great one for this. Someone running, it was. Maybe I don't have it anymore. Okay, well, we'll just use this girl again. So, and I'm going to just cut the frame in here. So say we wanted to do this same effect. So what I'm going to do, I'll put the box, I'll do it on the opposite side. And I'll fill it, I'll change the opacity, maybe I'll make it pink. I'm going to move her over a little bit. And then what we can do is we'll just start typing. We'll get, maybe we'll say cut out text. And I'm going to just pick a nice big font. And maybe I will align it, get it how you want it to be. And then I'm going to again type create outlines, and then I'll make this a little bit bigger. Now this is going to be kind of the same as we did with our other example. We'll cut out the, we will ungroup it and then select the background and the text, and then click on our use our Pathfinder to cut it out. And then say I move this, or maybe we'll put a more colorful picture in there, like this. Then you can see how the text is cut out. So it kind of creates a nice little effect there. You can see it a little bit better with some brighter colors. Maybe I want to change this to back to pink, blue, you know, something so you could see it. So again, what I did, I'm just going to undo. I put my box, I typed out in the text box, I did type create outlines, I ungrouped it, and then I selected all of the text, I held shift and I clicked on the box, and then I used the Pathfinder to cut it out. And it did change the color, which is fine. You could always change it back, but then you see there's a cutout there. And you could do this even on a picture. You could do this on anything, but I just used the box as an example. Okay. You can also put some pictures inside letters. So say you have, we'll do the E for example. I'm going to again pick that basic font. I'm going to go to type create outlines, and then I'm going to hold shift and extend it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the E and then click Command D, or file place, and then we'll pick, maybe I'll just pick this image, and you could place it right in. And it's just like any type of shape. You'll fill the frame proportionally. Okay? So then you can fill in a letter with some imagery. So create outlines really helps. Another thing you might want to do is make sure that your images match. So the coloring in this image is the same. They both have like a yellow hue, and I'm going to use that as an example here. So in Photoshop, what you could do is adjust the colors. So you can go in, say you have this open, and you can go to Image, Adjustments, and Color Balance. Or you could also do Hue and Saturation and kind of mess around with that. Now I notice there's a little bit of a red tint to this picture, so maybe I want to take that down. And then I also want to make it really yellow. And then you could adjust that in your highlights and things like that. You could, you know, manipulate the photo as much as you want, and then you could do the same thing here so that they kind of match, so that when you flip back and forth, they have both the same yellow tint, so that when you go to your page, actually let me save these. Save and save. Then I can place them. And of course it's giving me this opacity. Move that up. Fitting, filtering proportionally. And then, oops, let's see. Hopefully these match. So they both have that sort of yellow hue to them. So that's something nice that you could do, so your images kind of have the same tint, and so that they look nice together. Okay, and then what you could do, like in this example, then you have the other colors. So you could do you could pick up the attribute of the yellow by using your eyedropper tool. So I'm just going to go over and click the eyedropper tool. Whoop. And make sure you're selected on your fill color, then select your eyedropper tool and pick that color up. And I'm just going to click I to keep getting different colors. So maybe you wanted to have this little bit of a color. We'll maybe move it like this and arrange those. It's not really the best color yellow, but you get the idea. So something like that. Okay. Another thing that you could do is get some types of backgrounds. So one site that I use a lot is Freepik. And you can get a lot of vector backgrounds and vector imagery from Freepik. So maybe I'll get a watercolor background, like maybe something like this. It's pretty close. Now, the thing is that you have to credit the author. So maybe since this is for print, you could just say designed by Freepik. That could be a little like image caption, or that could go in like the gutter area of the pages, or you could copy and paste the link. Either way, you could download it, and it will download a zip folder which you can open up, and it will provide you with Illustrator files. Okay, so I'm going to open that up, and then you see here's the Illustrator file. And most of you guys have used Illustrator before. So you could keep this on here. I mean, I don't know. I would put it in this gutter area. Like I would put a byline here if you were going to use it on the inside of your pages of your spread. But anyways, for the sake of this, I'm just going to delete it. It's such a big file that it doesn't want to do anything. Actually, I'm just going to place it. Okay, Command D, I'll go to my downloads, watercolor, and then we'll place, you could place the Illustrator file, you guys know that. Okay, so then you can get a nice background from that. And then Okay, my time is about to run up. I'll finish in the next video.